Hey, Eric here with the Lewis County Scoop. Last week I had on Tiffany Blickhan. She is a candidate for the Lewis County Clerk running against incumbent Shannon Sapp. She came on and shared what she would do if she became Lewis County Clerk and why she thinks that she believes she is the best choice. But first, we're going to go to the sponsor of this podcast.
The sponsor of this podcast is United State Bank. In small towns, trust still matters. Since 1922, United State Bank has been serving Northeast Missouri with the kind of personal service you can only get from people who know the community. Whether you're opening a checking account, saving for the future, buying a home, financing a vehicle, running a business, or working in agriculture, United State Bank is here to help. With local branches, online banking, digital services, and hometown customer care, banking is simple, secure, and close to home. Visit United State Bank today at usb1.com. United State Bank, personal service since 1922. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
All right, we're joined here today with Tiffany Blickhan. She is running for Lewis County Clerk.
Yes.
Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Having me.
Well, let's just start out. Maybe you just tell us a little bit about yourself, your family, your history.
All right. I am originally from Cocoa, Florida. I relocated here in the summer of '89 after I got back from a trip from Europe. My mom's company down in Florida was bought out by a big company in New York. And when I got home, she said, "We have a decision to make. Do we move to New York City, live in a penthouse, or move to Missouri, where my grandma and grandpa and I had family here that I'd been coming visit for summers, or move to Missouri and just start over?" So
Good
I
choice.
chose Missouri. I mean, the New York City life was not for me.
All right.
So,
Yeah.
but I moved here in summer '89. I was a sophomore in high school at the time. My grandma had told me that Canton had a really good band under Mr. Barry, and it was a very, very great band.
Right.
So that helped spur my my wanting to move to Missouri because I'd visited here before. So,
Yeah.
but I graduated Canton in '92. Went to Culver Stockton for music education. Was there for 2 years, and then in the flood of '93, I lived in the flood zone downtown, so I was evacuated, mandatory evacuation. So I relocated to Ewing. Joined the fire department at Ewing, and being there in Ewing on the fire department, it sparked an interest in being a first responder. So I left Culver Stockton, went to HLG, got my EMT license. Been an EMT over 30 years. I think it's 32 years now.
Okay. Is that what you currently do too?
Well, I still have an active
Okay.
EMT license. So that's how I got into that. I worked for Lewis County Ambulance, and then met my first husband and moved to Cocoa, work on the ambulance, and we went to Memphis, worked on the ambulance there, and then when that didn't work out, I came back to Canton.
I see.
So I worked at the casino for 18 years as an EMT and security officer. Met my current husband. We got married in 2005, and we'll be celebrating 21 years Thursday.
Oh,
this week.
congratulations.
So, and his name's David, and he's a Navy vet. He retired from the Navy after 26 years. And we have 3 kids. One lives in Florida, and we have 2 that live here. And then we have one grandchild who's 1. After 18 years, I left the casino and am working for Farm Bureau in Monticello at the office as a sales associate and county board assistant.
Okay. So you're pretty involved with the community. What all you got going on in the community that you're involved with?
Right. Yeah. So I've been in basically community service, working, doing ambulance, fire department for so many years that a lot of the other things that I do is with my children. We did scouting. Both my husband and I were both scout leaders. I was Cub master. He was scout master. One of our sons ended up becoming an Eagle Scout. And then with his veteran status and everything, we're in the American Legion in Canton. He is currently district commander and for District 1 for the Legion, and I'm a district officer for the American Legion Auxiliary. I'm Sergeant at Arms.
Okay.
And then also at the Canton American Legion post, I'm secretary membership. officer.
Okay. Okay, Tiffany. So, the big question: why are you choosing to run for Lewis County Clerk?
Why I'm running, I think there needs to be accountability in the clerk's office. This is not the first time that I have tried for Lewis County Clerk. Back in December of 2016, the clerk's office was vacated, and that left an opening for a governor appointed person to run that office for the remainder of that term. I applied and on the Republican ticket for the county clerk position, and with the Democrat governor Jay Nixon was on his way out. Greitens had been elected,
Hmm.
so as one of his last hurrahs, um, Jay Nixon put in a Democrat, which I believe was Chris Flanagan at the time,
Okay.
and instead of me. So this isn't the first time I've tried for county clerk. I've been asked to run before, but up until this point, and with what happened last year was my campaign for ambulance district, that really just sparked more of a need to run for county clerk for accountability and election security.
I see. What happened with your run there with the ambulance district?
Well, when I ran for ambulance district, as a candidate, I asked for a map of all the political subdivisions of Lewis County. So I'd asked the current county clerk, for a map. She couldn't provide me one, told me to contact the ambulance district. So I contacted the ambulance district administrator there and was provided with a map from 2012 that was photocopied. I don't know how many times. It was pretty unclear and was highlighted with a blue Sharpie. So when you get down to the city of LaGrange, if you look at the map, you can't really distinguish the district boundaries
Okay.
between it being blurry and also the blue highlighter. It wasn't a very accurate map. And so on election day, I had voters call me and say that they were being turned away. They feel that they should be able to vote, that they were being turned away from voting and weren't allowed to vote.
But because they weren't in the right district,
I believe that's what they were told.
okay.
But later in the day, I guess they were called back to vote. They weren't given a provisional ballot right at the first time they were there, which should have happened, because then that provisional ballot could be sealed, and then further pending investigation, then it could be counted if it deemed it was
Okay.
an accurate ballot to be cast. But after I received those phone calls, even one of the City of LaGrange employees called me and asked me if I had a map that I could provide. So I emailed that map to her and told her good luck trying to figure it out. In the meantime, I'd called the county clerk, no answer, left a voicemail, told her what was going on. I said, "This is kind of timely. Please call me back." I hadn't received a phone call back from her, so I called the Secretary of State's office directly.
Okay.
Spoke with him, told him what was going on, that I'm a candidate. There's some issues going on with the voter rolls, people being turned away, saying they're not in the correct district. The map I have isn't very legible. Can I go over what I think the boundary is by giving names and addresses of individuals on each side of that boundary that I
Right.
thought was probably it? And they said, "Sure, go ahead." So I started naming off names and individuals on each side of Highway C, which is where I thought the boundary probably was, and it was. It ended up being Route C.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that had contacted me were actually in the correct sub-district to be allowed to vote.
Mm.
I'm not for sure if they were able to return to vote or not. I know at least 3 that were turned away. I lost by 5 votes.
Okay.
I don't know if that has an effect, on the outcome. I probably could have contested it. I didn't.
Right.
But this is one of the main reasons why, because there needs to be training for the judges. The be accessible to especially to the candidates on
To the
election day.
election judges. I
Yes,
see.
training for because they should have been able to provide a provisional ballot to those people and then determined at a later date, instead of trying to call them back. Some of them may not have been able to come back if they had already left town. So this just needs some policies and procedures need to be updated, maybe better training.
And this is back when you ran for ambulance
When I
board,
am,
right?
yes, last year, yes.
Got you. Okay. Okay, Tiffany. What makes you feel that you have the experience to do this job as a Lewis County clerk?
Right. Well, when I was running, put in for an appointment back in 2016, I did some job shadowing with the Marion County Clerk, just so I could see what the job actually
Right.
entailed. So by doing that, um, it kind of helped me realize kind of what I needed to do in my current professional career to try to, up that game. But as far as my experience, when I was a security supervisor at the casino, I did a ADP payroll, which basically you enter the hours and all the information on that department's employees as far as their wages and stuff, and then the scheduling of the security shift. I've done budgeting with the Farm Bureau, the county board. We have a budget we have to turn in every year. So we have that planning ahead, 30, 60, 90-day plan always works good. That way
Yeah.
you can keep everything on track. When you have your deadlines, you know what's coming due now and then in the future. So, you try to make those deadlines. And customer confidentiality. Being an EMS, you have patient confidentiality. So there's things that doesn't need to leave the office. And that just helps develop a trust in you. And that's in being an EMS doing that, report writing, it's just you got to develop a trust with the people, and that's my main goal. And logistics. So need to know who to contact to get something. Use use your employees, use your contacts to help better um, the office. Like if there's something that I don't know, I will tell you I don't know, but I will find out and I'll get back to you quickly. I'm not going to leave you hanging. So that's the accountability part.
Yep.
So that's what I bring, and um, job security. Really, I mean, I was at the casino 18 years. I've been here 7 years. I don't job hop all over, and I like keep my feet grounded, and I think that's a big thing. When you go in somewhere, you want somebody to recognize you've been there a while, and I think that's pretty helpful.
Yeah. Yep. Um, so part of what we're trying to do here at the Lewis County Scoop is we're really trying to make this an educational platform too, to educate people on local governance, politics. So let me ask you the question. As a county clerk, what does a county clerk do for the people who may not know exactly what a county clerk does? What does a county clerk do and what's your main responsibilities?
Right. The county clerk job is basically the HR for the county.
Okay.
You take care of the employees, the payroll, the billing, and you also serve for the commissioners. Um, you take their minutes, you work for them. You're the recorder of information, so like licensing, voter registration, election
Okay.
security, election authority for the county.
Okay. Okay, Tiffany, you are running against the current county clerk, Shannon Sapp. What makes you think that you can do a better job than her? And what will you do if you get elected county clerk?
So, what makes me think I could do a better job is my work history of following internal controls. You have to have internal controls to be able to do your job the same every time. There's no well, this is the way we've always done it, so this is how I'm going to do it mentality. That doesn't help with growth or uh, new ideas. And along those lines, as far as this is the way we've always been done it, is the current Lewis County clerk is using that concept, and it ended up in her being audited by the state auditors. There was a whistleblower that had concerns about how the election authority account was used. And the commissioners also brought in for an audit. And in the state auditor's report, it did deem that she did misuse election authority account money to pay her and her employees out of that account. And this report came out in May of 2025 after the audit concluded, and it's on the state auditor's website. So if anybody wants to read it, it's an easy read. It's not a bunch of legal jargon or anything like that. You can kind of scroll down to it, and you'll see auditor's response and then auditee's response, which would be hers, for the conclusion of each section of that. And that's at auditor.mo.gov. If anybody wants to go there, you can search in their bar Lewis County Clerk, and it'll immediately bring up that report. So I think there needs to be accountability, and back to the internal controls. When I worked at the casino, we had strict internal controls. Everybody knew how to do that job. There was no question. It's written right here. This is what you do, and this is how you do it and how you report it. Even all the way down to lost and found items. There was an internal control for that. So I think if there's ICs there and available, and you go by those, everybody that works there, from the clerk down to the deputies and even the voter registration clerk, everybody knows what to do, and they can do it, safely and according to statutes. And I think that's where accountability is a big necessity there. This is the way we've always done it. Just doesn't cut it in the world right now, because there's a lot of changes that have been made, and that can be dangerous. But as far as how I can do it or why, I think the taxpayers deserve more. I'm going to show up for work every day, barring any acute illness or anything like that, obviously. But I will be there every day. And the clerk's job is partisan, getting the job, running for election. You are a partisan candidate. But once you get in that office, it's nonpartisan. You're serving everybody in the county. And that's the way I feel. You're going to come to me, I'm going to serve you, I'm going to do it timely. And if I can't do it, then I'll get back to you as soon as I can find that answer for you. And transparency is a big one, like releasing the county commission minutes timely, when requested. It's not secretive. There are things that do need to be confidential, but there's the transparency as well. And that's, there's a line there. And in your internal controls, you go back to that again. That will tell you what you can release and what you can't. And I think that's where we need to get. We need to get to a point where there's accountability, accessibility, trustworthiness, and a great service to the residents of Lewis County.
Yeah. Okay, Tiffany, thanks for joining us today. If you would, just give your last pitch to tell the voters why they should vote for you for Lewis County Clerk.
Right. So for the county clerk, I want to get out that if I'm elected, I will be there for you. I will take care of any necessities that you need. If you're a future campaign candidate, I will ensure that your process for becoming a candidate is easy, secure. You'll have everything that you need when you sign up. All the, hopefully, adequate mapping, updated mapping, so you know where your area is. And also, I will just be there for you. I'm friendly. I'm fun. I easy to work with. I'm a team player. Like I said, I'll do my job, and I won't expect my deputies to have to do my job all the time. I think if we work as a team, that office would be very successful. It'll be easy for the taxpayers when they come in. And then it'll be a pleasant experience when you come into the county clerk's office. And that's what we want.
Yep.
We don't want you anytime you have to go to the courthouse to be on, I got to go to the courthouse. Oh, hey, I want to go to the courthouse. I'm going to stop in the clerk's office and say, hey. So that's what I want. I just want it to be fair, consistent, transparent, and a pleasant process when you come in to see us.
Yeah. Yep.
And also want to work with the commissioners a lot more. I want to be, easily accessible to them, and hopefully we can all work together and do great things for Lewis County.
Okay, Tiffany, thanks for joining us, and I wish you the best luck.
All right, thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.